Well, hello everybody, Shelly here, and I'm getting into something that I have wanted to dabble in for quite a while on camera. This is the Colored Raine Queen of Hearts palette. This is not a new palette. It's been around for a long time. It is gorgeous, and I can tell you, sorry, there's a lot of glare. Every time I wear this, my husband always says, wow, your makeup looks really pretty, and I thought, I'm not gonna hide that from you guys. I need to actually share this, and I've been wanting to do it for a while. But like I said, it's not new. I don't know how many of you guys have picked this up, but I heard Jen Loves. No, it wasn't Jen Loves. It was Andrea, I can't remember her name. Anyway, there was a fairly popular YouTuber recently. She had said, oh, this year I'm gonna pick that up. And I was like, I have that. So I thought now's a good time to actually play with it. So we're gonna do 3 looks with this palette. And this to me is, let me see, it'll bend back. Oh yeah, it bends back. This to me gives you some neutrals, some purplies, orange. You get a pop of color in here that actually makes it very user-friendly, very versatile. 12 shades, but they're good size pans. Colored Raine is a Black-owned beauty brand. And then I noticed today my hooded eyelids seem to be a little bit more hooded than they normally are. So we're gonna try to fix that. Let's see if this eyeshadow palette helps me with that here. I don't know if I wanna do 2 looks or 3. Let's do 3. We're gonna start with a purple look because that seems to be good. So we're gonna go into the shade Princess, which is kind of like this matte mauve color in here. You do get half the shades are shimmers and half of them are mattes, which if you are a minimalist eyeshadow wearer where you do couple shades, perhaps a pop of color, this palette will give you like a week's worth of looks. I can't remember if I got this off of the Colored Raine website or maybe Amazon. I don't remember. I remember when I looked for it, I had a hard time finding it at first because it had been not something that people were still out there looking for, I guess. I don't know. So you guys have to leave me a message. Tell me, did you guys pick up this palette back when it was first released or back when it was all the rage? Do you have it? Are you interested in it? I don't think it's, in fact, I know it's not discontinued because I saw that Colored Raine's website, I think it was back in like maybe February, I looked and saw that they had this palette on there. They have some really, really bold eyeshadow stories. I don't know, if I'm gonna do something super crazy bold like that, I'm probably gonna go Juvia's Place just because I have a number of their palettes already. I feel congested today. Maybe that's why my eyes are swollen. Maybe that's why my eyelids are swollen, as I'm a little congested. We're gonna keep it in this quad right here. We're gonna go into this darker magenta purpley called Ladyship. Let's put that right there against the lash line. I think purples are traditionally hard to formulate. At least that's what I've been gathering from what other YouTubers say, because I'm not actually a professional makeup artist and I don't really, have ties into the industry to know for sure. But from what I understand, people talk about that purples are hard to formulate. On first application, it looked a little patchy, but then a second dip into it and it completely covered and became opaque. I would say that the formula is pretty good on this. This is one of 2 palettes that Rhonda over at Hot Mess Mama MD. Go follow her if you don't. She used to do a lot of application videos, and I think a lot of them now are like subscription videos. I'm going back into that first shade just to kind of buff out that edge. Anyway, she's the one that turned me onto this palette. This one in the Delancey Maelstrom. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Do you guys know that palette? Let me grab it really fast. This one. This is another one that's, I don't know, she convinced me. And I don't think I've ever used it on camera either. This one's not the same color story at all, but it is gorgeous. And there's something similar about it. I think they're like the similar pan sizes, So I don't know if the companies are related at all. You do get some purples. You do get, a couple warmer shades and neutral. If you want me to come back and do 3 looks with this palette, let me know. It's a fun, creative, almost date night type palette. But this one I think gives you like your everyday usable, wearable shades as well. So I get really excited about this one. Okay, I like the way those 2 colors are together, but I'm gonna go into this bronze right here and I'm just applying it on my finger. From my finger onto the movable lid, and I think that just took that eyeshadow combination to a whole other level. I'm a little dark because it's not adjusting here. Maybe I need to be closer. I probably zoom you into the right level and then my auto lighting will work a little bit better. Okay, this shadow is really, really creamy. Really creamy, really pretty. I'm still looking very swollen though. My contacts are a little fuzzy this morning too. I don't know why. It's earlier in the day that I'm filming this, earlier than I normally do. Maybe I just need to have more coffee or something. I'm gonna go back into that princess shade right here, this kind of matted mauve-y color. And I want to build it up into my crease just a little bit because I think that will help that hooded eye situation. A little bit anyway. And you know, at the end of the day, the ultimate fix is just mascara. I didn't know which direction I was going to go in, and I think that's one of the joys about this palette is you could do super like fast, easy, neutral, and then you could be like, oh, I want to be a little unexpected. Okay, I'm going to take the shade Noblewoman, which is a shimmer, but I'm going to take it on my lower lash line. And I'm doing it right up against the lash line. I chose this one because knowing that these shimmers are so buttery, I'm not as concerned with it flicking up into my contacts. It's going where I put it, which is nice. I might actually put a little bit on the top too. Might as well tie that in. All right, let's put some mascara on. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, back with look number one. Something about it is just really flattering, I think. The colors actually blended really well together. I have a little tiny seam right there that I can see. And I love I love the end result. Did it help minimize that swollen hooded lid? Yeah, it did, which was kind of my goal with putting on makeup today. Look number one down. My hair's a little crazy. I'm gonna take this off, change my battery, and I'll be right back with look number two. Okay guys, I'm back. Why does it always, like when I turn my camera off and back on again, it just looks brighter? I don't know if I'm in the same place or not, but it seems like the coloring is a little bit better. I do have this e.l.f. eye base on, and I used it on the last look too. I just forgot to mention it. Let's use some of these darker colors. We're gonna try this orange shade called Empress. Gorgeous orange, deep orange shade. And I'm just gonna lightly tap it on and then just kind of blow it out. I gotta say, for orange eyeshadow, that's really wearable as when you just sheer it out like that. I know it looks a little dark right now, and it's gonna get better. You gotta trust the process, right? Maybe that's why people get intimidated by makeup, is they just can't hang out long enough to see the end result, and they get nervous or scared or something. Okay, so I gotta ask you guys, you ladies of a certain age, have you always been into makeup, or was there a turning point that you really got into more? I just grabbed a little bit more of that because I wanted it kind of more in my crease. Yeah, when did you guys get into makeup? My mom was an Avon lady back in the 70s, and so she always had like the little tiny little sample things around. I used to love those. It was like doll makeup, you know. But I'm gonna take this shimmer called Dethrone, and I've got like a little flat brush. Normally I put on shimmers with fingertip, but I'm just gonna build this up from here. Wow, I really like that shade. I don't know that I love the shade with the orange. One of the things I look for in shimmers is making sure it doesn't make my eyelids look even more crepey. Especially today when I'm dealing with like swollen lids too. If they're dry at all, it could get even worse, and that's just not, that's not cute. While you may not embarrass your family too much if that happens, you don't need any help looking older than we are. We're already fighting that age thing, right? Like, you don't need to go any crazier than that. That shade's really pretty. I didn't get it exactly in the right place. That's what we buff it out for. If I were a real makeup artist, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is how you do it correctly. And instead, we're just sort of accidentally successful sometimes. I feel like I've got a little fallout underneath my eyes. I should probably, well, we'll clean that up afterwards. That's what you do when you make a mess, is you clean it up afterwards. I like it. I'm gonna grab this kind of taupe shimmer. I've got that same flat brush, but I flipped it over. This one seems a little crumbly, but we're gonna pack that onto the remainder of my movable lid that's not exposed. Oh yeah. Normally, orange is not really a color that I really gravitate towards. Like, I like some warm neutrals, but I love cool tone neutrals. And I feel like the two cool tone neutrals that are a shimmer with that orange makes it kind of unexpected. You know, it's funny, when I got done with the last look, I was like, I like this look so much I almost don't want to take it off. And I'd end up with that same situation over here. Okay, we're gonna take this purple here called Queen Mother, and that's gonna be my eyeliner. And again, these shimmers are so buttery, but to do all of these shimmers on mature eyelids. Who am I and what are we doing? Oh, now my camera got light again. That's weird. I don't know if it's where I'm at in the frame. Like if it gets darker. Do you guys know of another palette that's like this? It's like a dupe for this. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna grab this lightest shimmer in here. I feel like I might regret this. I'm gonna grab this. This is gonna be my inner corner highlight. Yeah, that kind of opened up my eyes a little bit too, didn't it? All right, you guys, let's try some cleanup and some mascara, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, back with look number 2, and I really like it. Sure, it's smoky, but those colors actually look really rich. These 2 shimmers that I used on my movable lid, this one right here, which is called Royal Highness, and then Dethrone. These are, like, to me, perfect eyeshadows. Perfect consistency, very creamy. I don't feel so hooded. I mean, granted, mascara makes all the difference, right? That little tiny pop of purple, you can almost not even see it. That's okay too, because it's not overwhelming. And you kind of don't even notice the orange. When I first put it on, the orange was like, okay, wow, that's orange. Now I'm like, no, it's just like a subtle nod of warmth to an otherwise cool eyeshadow look. I don't know why I'm trying to talk like an expert here. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to come back with a third look. Be right back. We're going to go in with this nude shade here, which, if I recall, is pretty light. I figured I would just dust it all over my lid. I'm not normally a light eyeshadow wearer. I certainly don't like pastels just by nature. This shade, I think you can easily mix in with one of the other shades to kind of mute it out, like maybe that orange or like this darker one that I'm going to use next. I think that would actually mix in very beautifully with it to kind of tone it down if you needed to. That was called Air. Like, not air as in what you breathe, but air as in like air apparent. Like the air in the spare. We're going to go into Royal Prerogative, that right here. Ignore my chip nail polish, you guys. I got busy doing like house stuff and neglected to take care of them. This is a matte as well, one of the half dozen or so mattes. Whereas my last look I had only 1 matte. So far this is like my second matte in this look. And I'm just taking it all the way into my crease. Kind of like one of those little C-shaped do jobbies. And actually, I know when I do a halo look, my eye ends up looking a little closer set than need to be. Because of that color being such a nice neutral, and we're gonna do that. I'm sorry that the lighting seems to be going in and out. I'm playing with makeup. I'm being creative. I'm not figuring out the whole lighting situation, and I need to probably do that. I need to go back into that shade and kind of build it up a little bit. I'm feeling just a little tiny bit of patchiness, but if it's like the other shades, it will resolve itself pretty easily. And this brush probably isn't the right. Like, I like this brush up against my lash line, and it's a good size for a crease, but it's not a good blending brush. It's an application brush, not a blending brush. This is a Morphe E18, I think. I really liked this taupey color. I'm taking that again. I'm taking it right in the center of my lid, and this time using my finger, and I'm just tapping it on. I'm not doing like a full deposit swipe. I wanted something really simple for the rest of this look. This would be like your kind of work look, I guess. And now that I've got that tapped on, I'm just lightly buffing it out over the top of that. Kind of dusting off or buffing in where that matte meets the shimmer. Normal, that's what that is. I'm gonna go into the darkest matte brown in here called Duchess, up against my lash line. And up a little higher. When you look at this palette, do you notice all the neutrals, or do you only see the orange and purples? Or do you just see the foiled gold background and not know what to do with that because it's blinding you and you're distracted? Because we're all magpies, right? It was so windy last night, and I'm wondering if it didn't blow around something that has irritated my sinuses, because normally I'm not this congested. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit more of that Royal Highness right on that center of that movable lid. Lighter colors in the middle really kind of open up your eye look. I'm going to go into the lightest shade in here called Crown. That's going to again be my inner corner highlight. This palette has so much to offer. Some darker colors that you can smoke things out or as a liner, and the lighter shade that gives me a highlighter. This is probably a little more sparkly of a highlighter than I normally prefer, but I think the end result is actually really pretty. I feel like I need an eyeliner, and I'm gonna actually do a real eyeliner and not just eyeshadow. So give me just a second to do some eyeliner and mascara, and I'll be right back. Back with the third and final look. I'm feeling very monochromatic right now. And that's fine, because it's a, you know, stay at home, work from home, chill at home kind of a day. There's nothing about it that anybody's gonna be like, wow, you put a lot of effort into it. It just looks nice. I gotta tell you, I have not come up with a bad look with this eyeshadow yet. And I've tried a bunch of different combinations. I've tried 2 eyeshadows, 3 eyeshadows, multiple eyeshadows, doing them in blocks of quads, you know, the 4s, or taking them down a row a little bit. I've done so many different looks with this eyeshadow palette, and I absolutely love it. And thank you guys for sticking around this long and giving me a chance to actually play with it a little bit on camera, because I haven't for, well, ever. I've never actually done this palette on camera before, and I really wanted to, because it's a great palette. And so if you have this, I hope this gives you inspiration to kind of come back out to it and check it out again and play with it again. And if you don't have it, but now all of a sudden you're inspired, well, fantastic. I get nothing in PR. I'm not sponsored, affiliated, endorsed. So I get nothing if you guys purchase this. I bought this with my own money. That nobody's paying me to tell you guys my thoughts on it. I do have to go get the makeup off my shirt though. All right, you guys, I hope you guys are doing really well. And if you are new here, please hit the subscribe button before you go. And I love you guys. I'll talk to you on my next video. Bye for now.